Now, the topic I'm going to talk about is the good news first. The good news first is just last week, a report was launched that India has today become the GCC capital for the world, right? At 45% market share of all the GCC centers in the world, we own we own 45%. So we are the largest in the world. Big round of claps to all of you, right? And reason I am saying this is numbers aside, it has taken. Many leaders in this room are present here would know this GCC journey when it started. Perhaps in 90s, perhaps in 2000, we were unsure which way, what it is going to put across. When I joined NASSCOM way back in 2010, we were again unsure as to how to deal with the Global Capability Center. It was all given, all of the, now one of the panel discussion with Bala was conducting, captive, GIC, GCC, etc. Even that term is supposed to be coming to an end of its life. I'll tell you why. We were all called, this community was called by then dirty word captives. Dirty word captives. It is important you know the history. In 2010, the enterprises didn't have an identity. Globally, enterprises, they had a service provider and they had an entity which they called as an captive center. Go set up to 8,000 miles away. Don't mess up. Everybody is doing it and will take benefit out of that. That's the way the entity. We are all joined together that time in 2010, many years together. How do we create an entity for global multinational corporation who are not service providers, but in special breed of people who can create value and capacity for the country, value and capacity for the parent enterprise? It took full 15 years. But today I'm saying, very happy to say with all the effort, many of you present in this room, the past and the present leaders, we have reached this stage, we have become indisputable. The bad news is when you are the leader, this is like, they say Sachin Tendulkar has never scored a century on which India has won the match, right? He's always scored a century when India was in dire strait. He ensured that the India doesn't lose the match. We have a different, probably the same story with Virat Kohli also. Today, and Rahul Dravid, my generation, if I can go, Sunil Gavaskar and G.R. Viswanathan. When we become the leader, we have a responsibility to carry. The question is, we are the GCC capital. We have a huge responsibility to carry because what we have demonstrated in the last 15 years, what we demonstrated in the last 30 years as a tech ecosystem, as a GCC ecosystem, is that you can do things efficiently 8,000 miles away with a different time zone, nothing to worry about. And what got changed completely for the positive side again was during the COVID time. During the COVID time, all of us, all of you in this room, the entire ecosystem demonstrated that we can do it. We can do it. So much so, if I list down the top 5 reasons why people go for establishing a GCC in the country, one of the key reasons there, what is called FOMO, the fear of missing out. All the corporations in US, all the corporations in Europe, they had a seamless existence, seamless operation, entities which had its GCC center in India. I can give examples. Companies like Goldman Sachs, companies like Morgan Stanley, their entire operations across the world. When China got disrupted beginning, the Indian leaders asked, can you take additional load from Hong Kong? Can you take additional load from India? They said, we can do it. And the moment when India got impacted by COVID, the people in Bangalore took additional load when Mumbai was down. A good news in India is the COVID, it is also, it moved from west to south and south to north. It never impacted the entire region all at the same time. We were able to demonstrate, and the process more than demonstration, we earned the huge trust. Why I'm saying these two factors important, the journey we came as an entity to be told us you are captive. The journey to say today, you cannot exist as an entity in any part of the world if we don't have a global capability center capacity in at least in this part of the world. On an average, any idea, any one guess? I have a special prize for that. Don't look at Google search to know this answer. How many GCCs we add every week? Any idea? Any one guess? Yes, ma'am. Every week. 5, 2. Every week we had one. In a bad year, every week as a country we had one GCC. This year we are adding two GCCs every week. That's the way all of you have created the momentum. Having created the momentum, that's a demand that you have created. There is an opportunity for us to reboot the entire ecosystem, so that we sustain things for the future. Reboot is required in terms of talent ecosystem. When I say talent ecosystem, our talent ecosystem for India got created in 1996-2000, essentially to cater to the Y2K market, essentially to cater to the service provider market. And it was generally felt, I don't remember a company where I work for. Mr. Mohandas also worked in the same company with me that time. The general notice in any service providers used to be, as long as an engineer will be hired, even trespassers will be hired. When the BPM industry took place, again the message is, please just be a graduate. Just walk in, we'll conduct interview for you. That was the demand within the talent. The talent got created to create the demand there. Now, genuinely, the enterprises are seeking from India as an enhanced responsibility what value you bring to the parent enterprises. In the past, the entire value used to be completely focused on cost. Second value proposition was in terms of productivity. Third was in terms of enterprise talent. Fourth was in terms of ability to bring the ecosystem together. Now, genuinely, once again, they're saying, show us the real computer software engineers, right? Just as a data for you, India produces close about 17 lakh engineering graduates every year. Absolutely jaw-dropping number. India produces the wrong word, allow me to use it just for the context setting. India releases or generates, or whatever you call it, close to about 7,20,000 computer science software graduates every year. Are they ready for the next wave of GCC wave that is going to take place? That is what I'm saying. Reboot the talent ecosystem. Can we all, people in this room, I know Nitya, I know Mohandas, I know Raviji, all of us, perhaps many of you, if we can all join together in the colleges that you graduated from, in the cities that you grew up from, even if we can spend time to build the ecosystem for students who see, don't look at the way you are looking at hiring people, look at the talent that is required. If we can all join together to create a new talent ecosystem, nobody can shake us. Mark my word, nobody shake us. 2030 would be still at 48 to 50% of global market share. Right? There are countries competing with us. Competition, we did hear Ms. Ekrup Kaur saying that we are doing tier 2, tier 3 emerging towns in Bangalore, in Karnataka. If we go down to Andhra, there is again the Vizag is now coming up. Gujarat, Gift City is coming up. Chennai, again Tamil Nadu, Chennai and Coimbatore is coming up. They're also doing Madurai and Trichy. The reason I'm saying this is, all of us spend some time and capacity, encourage the city taking place is, just give an example of Bangalore. Any idea how many tech professionals are working in Bangalore? Second quiz. Any idea? One guess. Again, nothing wrong, madam. You try 20 every month, you said. Absolutely. 20 lakh people. I'm still an old generation. Some lakh is the word I use. So 20 lakh people are there in Bangalore. To meet the demand by 2030, 30 lakh people are required in Bangalore. Just imagine, somebody asked that question, one lady, she is not there, that how are you coping with the infrastructure challenges, etc. 30 lakh people in a city like Bangalore, from Devanahalli to Whitefield, so White and say Electronic City to wherever, Mysore, today is Kengeri, wherever you go. Imagine the city has to grow, cannot grow. This is not the story of Bangalore. You go down to Hyderabad today people say is good. Perhaps in 5 years' time, they're going to be land of a problem. It is imperative, important, as a rebooting system, you also genuinely look at how do we go beyond Bangalore, beyond Chennai, beyond the known 8 cities. You'll be surprised. The largest center for Ernst & Young, any guess? Third quiz. Largest center for Ernst & Young, which part of India it is in? Any guess? Come to the city. Trivandrum. So they have now looked at Trivandrum, right? People are now looking at it. The reason I'm not saying Gujarat is the emerging city, sir. The fact I'm saying is, it is important we break the jinx that good job can be done only in Bangalore. Good job can be done only in NCR. So again, reboot the system. Because imagine this, we are at 1,700 GCCs, employing close about 1.9 million people in the GCC workforce itself. This is going to double in 7 years. We require alternate cities to come up. Is important. We all put our energy. Academic system in an emerging town is second. Third, which is important, very, very important, this is the ecosystem for us to sustain leadership. Each one of us in this room, all the panelists today, all the listeners today, all the audience, we have to join together to make that happen. Is that ability to provide leadership. Just as an information to you, from the time I was tracking GCC when I created this ecosystem way back in 2010 at NASCOM, I was calling that the Generation 1 leaders. They were all good delivery managers. They ran a GCC center to build to the scale what is required. We have now come to what is called a third generation GCC leaders. Third generation leaders, they've already done one, they've already done the second, they're now doing the third, which value addition is a key way to do it, completely done. Just as information for you, you heard about Ms. Ekrup Kaur today. I'm also working in Government of India. I do not know how many of you tracked the Union 2024 election which took place in April, May, June, right? One of the leading party, and I do not know if you noticed the budget that got announced by Nirmala Sitharamanji on July 2024. She has reiterated their party stance that one of the key item for the GDP growth of this country is growth in GCCs. First time, Government of India has acknowledged GCCs are an integral strategy for India. I am working with Government of India to evolve a policy, define a policy that will make ease of doings far easier. Ease of doing is not necessary in terms of transfer pricing, not in terms of kind of work we do, also showcasing the kind of work what we do outside India, what is required. So ease of doing policy, leadership, talent, what is required. My question is like this. By nature, behaviorally, psychologically, we're all hierarchy oriented. We don't question elders. We respect elders, nothing wrong. We should challenge elders too. I'm asking a question. How many leaders from GCC are in this room? So with due respect, I'm not including you right now, sir. You're not in the GCC in that sense, which I know. I'll take you, just an example. Do you have your global leaders visiting India? Yeah. Yes, no. Yes. Do you plan for the visit 3 days before, 1 week before, when they come in, take care of, etc.? No, you don't. Good. The reason I'm saying is 90% of GCC leaders, when a foreign visitor is coming to the centers, they stop all their work 1 week before, 10 days before. They just do the planning, etc., including receiving at the airport with the bouquet, shuke, andar lange, mala pehnayenge, etc., etc. Whereas when you go as a vice president of India, Shansi, when you go down to US, nobody comes and receives you. You're expected to go yourself, stay in the hotel, come and attend the meeting. Why are we subservient? Why are we subservient? Exactly. That's the third report which I'm talking about. Just get away from the mindset of reminiscence of services industry. That today people are leveraging us here for the knowledge that we possess, for the talent that we possess. As Nitya was telling me, lunchtime, we are expected and we are capable also to produce 85 hours of work a week. Whereas a fellow colleague in the US and Europe, perhaps beyond 40 hours, they back off, 45 hours will stretch, they back off. We have demonstrated great work ethos. So I'm saying reboot the talent, reboot the leadership, reboot the generation of leaders that's coming in, and reboot the academic ecosystem. We can do all of them. I strongly believe that will be doing. Last but not the least, I think is important. Companies like Stratinfinity, the main sponsors of this program today, I consult with them. It's important they're doing a good job here. You see, the vision what we have in the GCC ecosystem, we have close to about 1,700 GCCs in the country, right? Madam, one last time I'm going to ask you, what will be the number in 2030? That is what they're giving officially. Nobody want to be on the wrong side, right? What is potentially available is 3,000, right? If you play the card well, reboot, etc., there's an opportunity to add another 1,500 in the next 7 years. Yeah, please give the mic also, please.
So, why JP Morgan or Morgan Stanley or Wells Fargo should have the option to do cost arbitrage through Indian talent? Why not the mid-sized companies? Because there are GCC leaders available here. Why can't a GCC in India can serve to multiple organization in the developed countries, targeting the cost arbitrage for medium-sized and small-sized organization as well in those countries?
So let me rephrase it. I'll answer your question slightly differently.
Sure.
The moment you could call yourself with definition, I'm a global capability center, you're expected to be performing services only for the parent enterprises, not for anybody else, right? But the fact is, right, nowadays, the people who came in early 2000, early 2006, 2010, their entire game plan was to go for volume. Today, JP Morgan is perhaps 56,000 to 60,000, Morgan Stanley is 12,000, SAP Labs is 23,000, NatWest is 17,000, HSBC is 45,000, etc. That game, unfortunately, is not playing anymore. People are not saying volume, people are now saying value. The moment we keep on playing the volume game, we will position ourselves cheap talent. The moment you position ourselves, say, I bring value. I'll give an example. Several years back, I had an opportunity to engage with anybody from Walmart here in this room? So I can freely take the name. Good, right? So Walmart, when they were here, when they came into India, the center was called Walmart Shared Services Center in India, right? They thought we are Walmart. So people make a beeline to come and join, etc. Waited for 2 years, 3 years, nobody came and joined them. That is because in the minds of Indian parents, to say that my daughter or son works for a retail was considered a bad thing. Nobody wants to announce to people saying that retail, because nobody has seen things. Then they changed themselves, saying that we are Walmart Labs. They went to the same institution and said, we do stochastic modeling, we do planogram, we do merchandising stock out decisions taking place here. Moment they started talking that language, the kind of people they come in is here. Now today, the Walmart center is called Walmart Tech from India. Completely transformed. That's the way they're transforming the volume game to value game. More and more. For example, I was talking to again some of my friends during lunchtime. If you were to go to Silicon Valley, if you are going for a startup ecosystem in Silicon Valley, and if you have to talk to anybody for Series B fund or Series C fund, if your strategy does not have an India strategy, funds are not given. And it's a strategy in India fund, either is India as a market, or believe it or not, if you don't have in 3 years or 5 years to establish a GCC in India, your story is incomplete from a funding perspective. That's the way the market is moved. If you have to sustain the market, this is not going to be a volume market, it's a value market. So value market, reboot talent, reboot the way you look at it, reboot the self-confidence, reboot the subservient that we talked about, re-energize city 2, city 3, go back to the cities you grew up and said, we can do the things slightly better, beyond Bangalore, beyond Hyderabad, beyond Gurgaon, beyond Noida. Gurgaon is another mess. I don't know people in Gurgaon here, they will completely appreciate. Gurgaon is another mess, right? If you are all cribbing about Bangalore traffic, etc., you just start to go to Gurgaon. Then you say, and Bangalore is far better. At least weather-wise, Bangalore is good. You don't sweat, right? AC continues to work for a longer period of time, etc. The point is, can we create that? These are the ways. If we don't sustain our own leadership, market will shift to South America. Market will shift to Philippines. Market will shift to Eastern Europe. Market will shift to, people are not, interestingly, one last question to anybody else look at it. Which country, not city, which country do you think India should most largely worry about as a competition to India as a GCC model? One by one. Yes, ma'am. Manila, Philippines, Manila. Poland. Anything else? And one by one. Yeah. Yeah. Vietnam. Yes, sir. South Africa. Yes. US Midwest. Okay. Last two suggestions. Madam, I'll not ask you. I'll ask you. Okay. Anybody else? Anyone want to guess this side? Huh? No. No. Surprise element is Saudi Arabia. Right? What is Saudi Arabia telling? What is Saudi Arabia selling? I do not know if you have seen their TV advertisement. They give a desert island, Neon's a place. They advertise. What are they telling them? You want best of life, Americans, Europeans, come to Saudi Arabia. We have like gift city, we removed prohibition. You can drink as much as you want. You don't require a permit to drink there, right? They said, we'll give you the best of infrastructure, best, everything best. Chalo, you want talent. You tell me the talent you want, what price you're willing to pay, I'll pay for you. Kahan se lana hai? Hyderabad se lana, I'll get from Hyderabad. You want from Bangalore, I'll get from Hyderabad. Bangalore, etc. They are willing to ship any talent available, any part of India into Saudi to work and serve the global customers as a place to work with. Competition is not any of the situation in India. This is what I told Madam Ekrupkar also in my conversation. Focus countries beyond. It is not Israel. It is not Vietnam. All of them will find Philippines came. The total population of Philippines is 103 million, right? Perhaps in 10 years from now, will be 103 million people working in IT in India, right? So that's the way it is. So we have the scale. Unless otherwise, we change our soch. It is us for us to say that we are the leaders. Please bask in glory. But also remember, if we don't take the responsibility, we cannot let the glory off in 5 years from now. We will hit the 1700 numbers. We will hit that 30 lakh people in Bangalore. But shan se kahenge, if it is GCC, that is us, India. That's our responsibility. Thank you so much.